can you see me? Hold on a second. Can you see me now?
No, I just see the I
Is
just
it
still see your profile picture. Well, that,
okay? That's kind of weird.
yeah, that's yeah. I don't know why that's happening. That's bizarre, but maybe it's what we'll have to go with. I don't know.
Um, hmm.
Yeah, on the bottom of my screen, when I'm scrolling around, I got like a little red button to hang up, and then I got plus sign next to that.
So speaker, like a microphone.
Yeah, then I got a microphone, and then right next to the microphone, I got a little camera. So there's four different buttons that I've got.
I don't have that button there. That's
Oh,
kind of odd.
yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah. Hmm. That's kind of weird. Let's
Yeah,
see. Let's see if I can. Looking around to see if it's probably somewhere else.
maybe.
I doubt it though. I mean,
Yeah,
this guy, add phone number, contacts. Um, hmm, that's weird.
yeah, it is. Hey,
Do I need to download a camera or something like that? Or?
you shouldn't have to. I mean, you got a webcam on your
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah.
Then
I have a webcam on the laptop I'm using, like right in the middle of it is a camera.
yeah, so normally it would automatically sync with Skype. So I don't quite understand like why it's not, but
Right, right.
weird, weird.
Okay, so I guess. All right.
Yeah, might just have
So,
to, might
but
just
I can
have
clearly see you though, man. I can clearly see.
right. Yeah, no, mine's working good.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So oh well, we'll just go with the
This is like
flow,
this, yes. I mean, I always make videos all the time, so people always see my face
right?
when I make videos. So. Yeah. So, what topic you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, gee,
I
there's a
guess
lot. There's a lot
martial
to
arts you can talk about.
of what?
You can talk about the martial arts. I mean, that's probably the
Yeah, for
best.
sure. That's for sure. We'll be talking about that because that's our common denominator, hey?
Right,
So,
exactly.
what what style of karate have you been
Well, I
studying?
started out in Goju-Ryu.
Yeah, that's I know some of the kata are same as Goju Ryu.
Right, exactly. I started back in 1983, 1984.
Oh yeah.
I started training with my dad. So, and then from Goju-Ryu, I moved on to Shorin-Ryu.
Oh yeah.
Shorin-Ryu Matsubayashi. So that's the style that that's the style that I have a third degree down in. So,
Is that where you studied kicking more?
no. I kick him mostly from Taekwondo.
Okay,
Mostly.
yeah, that's it. Because I was thinking, those are pretty dynamic kicks, and like I did what's called Goha Kukai, which is a mixture of it's like the full systems of Goju Ryu and then Tomarite,
Right.
and
Because most of the Shorin-Ryu styles don't really have any high kicks, or the Goju-Ryu they usually kick below the waist.
that's right. Yeah,
Mostly
yeah.
low
So
kicks.
I was I was surprised because you're obviously karateka, but then you've got such dynamic kicks.
Yes, because I switch up my styles. I trained some Taekwondo. I did some boxing too. I did some Muay Thai, and I also did some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I got a purple belt in that.
Oh, you do, hey?
Yeah. I trained with the American Top Team. I'm not sure if you heard. I mean, you should hear from them. You should know about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I've heard of them.
I trained with a guy named Wilson Goveo.
Oh, I don't know him.
I mean, he was in the UFC for a little while. He actually was doing well. He fought a couple guys in the UFC.
Oh yeah.
I forgot who he fought though, but he fought a couple guys though. But he's one of the head guys in the American Top Team. So
Oh yeah.
I actually trained with him. I actually was going pro in MMA. Actually, I was actually going pro for a little while, but I have to step away from it.
Decide to
So
get out.
yeah, to get away from it, man, because the training was too much for me, you know.
Oh
It's
yeah.
too much. Yeah, it's like kind of harsh on the body, you know,
Right.
and the mind kind of harsh on the mind too. So I had to step away from it for a little while. So,
Oh, oh.
but I kind of jumping too far ahead though. Yeah. But you know, my most background is a Shorin Ryu, which is my base, and then from Shorin Ryu is a Taekwondo. I did some Kung Fu also, boxing, some Muay Thai, and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so I'm mostly more mixed.
Yeah, that's good though. That's a pretty good mix
Oh, thanks, man.
because I mean you've got the grappling with the jiu-jitsu. You've got some close in striking with the goju.
Right,
You got the long range with the taekwondo.
right.
So yeah, that's a good mix of all different all different ranges, eh?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I believe you have to be mixed. You know, you can't just have one discipline only and expect to. Even if you're competing or you're doing MMA, you need to be mixed.
Right.
You can't go in with just only stand up alone.
Right.
You know, like I'm just gonna do a front kick and a straight punch. You need a little more than that, man.
Yeah.
You have different kind of execution of kicks, different spinning kicks, spinning a hook. You know,
Right.
you need to be able to know the ground game. The ground game is important. If you don't have no ground game, you're gonna be in problem.
Right.
So I'm telling you, I like your videos because I see you train. I see you, you know, like you work out. You have different days you do different stuff. Like some days you practice ground, and you go jogging. You know, you mix up. You do your striking here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good, man. You know, and you don't bash anybody's. You don't talk bad about anybody stuff. You just concentrate on what you're doing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. No, I got no reason to bash anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, that is how it should be. You know, you train, you work out, and you just get yourself fit. That's it.
Right.
And you know you're working on your eating. I see you working on your diet now.
Oh yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah. I've gone through different waves of of working on nutrition in different ways, but yeah, right now I'm eating pretty clean. Like
Yeah.
like last year, over the last, like maybe if I go back 2 years ago, I tried to really clean it up back then too. Like 2 years ago, I dropped all fast food, stopped drinking pop. I started, doing as much as I can, like stuff that comes from just locally, and I was doing all right for maybe 6 months or so on there, and then over that summer. I went to like a big family celebration, and I ate something that was just garbage food, and then I had allowed myself that, and then so then I started allowing myself other things. Pretty soon I was eating like fast food and stuff again too, and then for most of last year, for most of 2014, like I was telling myself, all right, I'm going to quit, and because I knew I was going to quit again, then I was kind of binging, while I had the chance, eh? So I was eating a lot of junk. I was like especially in the evenings, and I was drinking too. Like I was having like instead of just having like one beer or one glass of wine, I was having like a bottle of wine and a couple of beers, in a night, So. Yeah, it was getting to the point where I needed to concentrate on nutrition for a little bit, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. That's more important than the workout.
Yeah.
Than actual training.
Yeah, it's what you're putting in your body,
Exactly. You put the right things in there, you're gonna perform at a high level, a very high level. You can perform. You're gonna be doing things that you never could do, even when you were younger. You're gonna be doing things that you never could do from your young.
Right.
That's the reason why I also promote healthy eating. Like I'm a raw food. I eat a lot of raw food only. Like vegan, vegetarian lifestyle.
Oh
so
yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing it for like 3 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I started out raw food only, just juicing and smoothies, nuts and seeds and herbs. That's it.
Right.
And then I went on to, I went on to try some vegetarian and vegan dishes. So I'm like in between raw food and vegan kind of. So,
right.
But more on the raw side.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. And you live in a place where you can do it. Like, you should be able to do a lot of local raw foods too, where you're at, hey?
Oh, yeah, of course. Usually I go out and I go to different spots, but most of the time I just prepare my own meals.
Right.
I just go out and buy the stuff and prepare my own stuff. Kind of funny about going to different places all the time,
Right.
Because sometimes I might cook the food in a certain way that it doesn't appeal to me, So,
yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for 3 years, and I mean it's a lifestyle change for me because, like what you said, the drinking and all the food you were eating, like the wrong foods. I was doing that for years.
Right.
For years I've been doing that, and also I used to party a lot. I used to drink a lot. I used to go out and party, man. Like
right.
I party hard for 10 years straight.
Party hard
every weekend.
Yeah.
And during the week for 10 years, I party hard. So my body needed to get detoxed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's been times in my life when I've gone through I kind of go through these waves, I think. And
okay.
when I was in the military, I drank a lot. Like I drank every day. And then when I got out, I think it was because I was depressed, And then when I got out of the military, then I went to university, and I just gave up all that drinking stuff. But then a few years into university, or a couple of years in, I started smoking weed.
Oh.
And then I got to where I was like smoking weed every day. And then I got married. I gave all that up,
Well, I did some of that too.
Yeah.
Along with the drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do the same thing that we're doing. A lot of people just don't say it.
Right.
They kind of keep it to themselves.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like taboo to admit that you got weakness and stuff like that, right? You've had these periods of weakness, but it's the truth,
Yeah, I mean, I'm an honest guy. I like to express myself, and I don't have nothing to hide. Now I'm clean. I don't do no alcohol. I stopped drinking. I don't do drugs. I mean, I don't consider marijuana as a drug. I consider it as a it's a medicine for your body. It's a natural medicine. But a lot of people, I guess, if you're smoking it, like I don't think you're supposed to take in smoke in your body. Your lungs is not meant to have smoke in it.
Right.
I believe you can use it as maybe cook with it. You can bake with it, make cookies, or sprinkle some on your food or something like that. I think that's a better way of taking in the marijuana.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was another thing too. Like I used to smoke cigarettes.
Oh, you smoke cigarette too? Ooh.
Yeah, from the time I was 18 until I turned 40.
Oh wow!
I was smoking cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I gave up cigarettes, and I should have gave them up a long time ago, but
that's just habits, man. I mean, there's sometimes it take a while for you to get over something,
Yeah.
To go through, like some people need to fall flat in the face to realize that this is not good for you anymore and change your ways. And sometimes people just do it for the rest of their life until they pass away.
That's right. Yeah.
But at the end of it, we're all going to pass away anyway.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what you do, no matter how clean you eat or you're not smoking cigarettes, you're still going to pass away regardless.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but smoking is one of the it's got to be one of the dumbest things to do because you don't get any. It's not like a whole lot of pleasure in smoking.
I guess the nicotine.
Yeah.
Crave.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, actually, when I was smoking, when I was smoking weed, I wasn't really getting into none of it really myself. I was just, I don't know, I think I was allergic to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would, I think my lungs would lock up.
Oh.
And I would, start to, couldn't breathe.
Oh,
so
really?
That's maybe a part. Maybe I was high. I don't know. Maybe that's just a part of being high.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely get...
trick from it. So...
Yeah, you can definitely get some weird sensations when you're high.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like
Yes.
at least, but then when you get used to it, it's almost like, it doesn't do that much to you, you know?
It's like a numb, like it numbs your body.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a pain reliever. It's like a natural pain reliever.
right,
Like other than taking like maybe like an Advil,
right.
But as I said, the smoking aspect, I don't believe your body is meant to take in smoke.
No, I agree. It's not good for you at all.
No, I don't think so because if you think about it, you smoke and you cough. That means your body's rejecting it.
Right.
Your body's telling you that the smoke you're breathing in is not good for you.
Yeah.
It's like you drink a lot, you throw up.
Right.
You drink a lot of alcohol, you throw up. So.
Yeah, right. And in fact, the first time I quit smoking, when I was in university. I was probably like 22 years old or something. I quit smoking for maybe 9 months, and then when I smoked a cigarette again, it made me throw up.
Oh yeah, it will.
Then
it
for
will.
some reason, I just kept smoking anyway. That's crazy.
Oh, it will. It will.
Yeah.
It will. I mean, there's stuff you stop doing for a while, and you try to go back and do it, and it's just not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Just not the same, man.
Yeah, your body responds like it's poison.
It's like your body rejects it.
Yeah, which it should, right?
Yeah.
Your body's working again.
And when your body's rejecting, that means your body's working right. Like
That's right.
Right, it's working good, So.
Yeah, that's right.
So. Yeah, man. So how long have you been training in the martial arts for?
Since I was little, since I was 12 years old, but I've been off and on. Like I haven't been training steady. Like I trained from the time I was 12 till 18.
Okay.
And that was in a mix of Kempo, Taekwondo, and Jeet Kune Do.
Okay. And that's learned from the book, or you had an actual?
No, I had a teacher. This was a guy that he was a kickboxer at the time. Well, just before I met him, he was a professional kickboxer.
Okay.
And he lived down the street from me. Well, he moved in down the street, and he set up his garage to train in. And it was a hot summer day. I was walking down the street, and I seen him training in his garage. And so I just went in and asked him if he could teach me.
Okay.
And so he started training me 2 nights a week, and I basically just became like another one of his bags to like that. The benefit he got is he gets a sparring partner, right? And and I had to be pretty, even as a little kid, I had to be pretty durable because he'd go pretty hard, hey.
Yeah, I believe you. I had a couple of those teachers too.
Yeah, he was a firefighter, and so we always had guys that were either firefighters or cops that would come in and train with us. And I was the only like teenage kid that was in there. Everybody was grown up firefighters and cops. So it's a little bit strange, but it was like a lot. It was pretty hard. Like it was medium contact sparring, and then we do what we call street situations, where it's just kind of free flow, like acting out a situation and how would you respond to it. And so there wasn't a lot of injuries, but you had to be willing to, fight a little bit.
You guys use gears or no, or just free?
Well, at that time, when we started, we really didn't have gear except for gloves, mouth guards, shin guards. But then it started to become a trend for headgear. But when I started, nobody wore headgear anywhere. It was like nobody did that stuff. Everybody just wore mouth guards, shin guards, gloves.
Right.
And it was like big boxing gloves, and like 12-ounce boxing gloves.
But I mean, were you learning? Did you do like the concepts, or was he just just sparring?
No, it was mostly just sparring in the street situations. Was more where you get it really wasn't broken down. These were just his background things that he put together into what he was teaching me.
Okay.
And see, he had trained Kempo first, got a second degree black belt in Kempo, and then went into Taekwondo, got second degree black belt in Taekwondo, and then was kickboxing. And then Dan Inosano picked him up and told him to come train with him for a year. So he went down to the Inosano Academy for a year, spent a year there. Then they got married, and he just kind of left the professional martial arts scene. But he's just he was just doing it for health and stuff at that point.
Right.
That's when I met him. So he liked to train, and he liked to train, the way that in the way that a fighter would train, but also in the way that some like they train in Jeet Kune Do, right, for street fighting.
Right. Exactly.
And so that was my formative stuff that I, from 12 to 18, what I did. And then I went into the military, so I was out of the martial arts for 3 years.
Okay.
I didn't do anything when I was in the military except drink a lot of alcohol and stuff.
Party. No, not really partying, but just alcohol.
That's right. And then when I got out of the military, I moved to Boston, and I started going. I was probably in Boston a year without doing anything, so probably altogether I did like 4 years of no martial arts. And then I jumped into Aikido.
Aikido.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did under William Gleason in Boston. I did a year of Aikido, and then I moved into J.H. Kim's school for Taekwondo in Boston and did a year of that.
Okay.
And that's more like sports Taekwondo, like
You were doing more like the Olympic.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
Yeah.
Olympic style.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing the Olympic too.
Oh yeah.
So for that, like more sports.
That's right.
But the techniques are effective though if you can land the kicks.
Yeah.
You get the timing off right.
Right.
Really do some damage, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
But, I never developed a lot of flexibility and stuff. And when I was at J.H. Kim's school, I was only there for a year, so I didn't get too far into it even at that. But I was able to, apply a lot of what I learned as a kid, in there as well, because my childhood instructors, was second degree in Taekwondo. That was a big part of his training. So,
Right.
So then after J.H. Kim, then I went and got married, and I took another hiatus from martial arts for about probably about 3 years.
Wow.
And then I went in, and then I moved to where I am now in Canada. This is where my wife is from, and I went into Goha Kukai, which is that I was saying, it's Goju Ryu and Tomorite.
Right.
And I trained that for about 3 years, and then went into grad school. And grad school was so intense that, again, I took another break. And then that was even longer break. That was like 7-year break or so.
Years, wow.
Yeah, and then I went back into Goha Kukai. I took like 3 years to do my grad studies, but then I was in break mode, so I just kept going. And I was career building and stuff at the time in the college. So it took me about 7 years or so to get back to it. I went into Goju Ryu again, or Goha Kukai, and then I got up to brown belt in that.
Okay.
And then...
But the thing is that, like, to me, I know belts give you a ranking.
Yeah.
It's just a way to show the level that you're at.
Right.
To me, when it comes to training, you're training.
Right.
The color don't matter. So.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, I've been around different places enough to know that, like my formative training, the stuff that I got when I was 12 to 18 was good stuff, because all these other schools that I've been in, like most of them, I could at least beat the black belt students in the schools.
Oh, of course.
But
There's people that have black belts, and
right.
I don't want to talk about bad about anybody, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to beat down anybody to build myself up. But,
Right.
just overall, I just believe that you're training for yourself.
Yeah.
You're training for the color of the belt. Because once you start training for the color of the belt, then you're not really training.
Right. That's exactly it. Right. So, and in a way, the Go Hakukai here it's very like kata based training,
Okay.
which was all right, but like
Yeah.
I still hungered for that, like the contact that I have when I was a child, right?
Right.
So I started looking at getting into other things, and that's why I was kind of looking at what's going on YouTube and stuff, because martial arts changed a lot from the time I was a kid to what it is now.
Of course.
Like
it actually changed. Really started to change around 92, 93 when the UFC came out.
Yeah, and that's when I was in the military and like totally out of touch, with martial arts.
Yeah, it changed dramatically. It changed drastically around that time. Because I guess they would with Horace Gracie and everybody, and then the karate guys compete against Horace Gracie, and the whole
right.
But
yeah,
like they're saying, stand-up fighting doesn't work, the ground game won't work, but it's really just that the person wasn't well rounded.
Right.
Yeah. If you knew how to strike as well as ground game, then it wouldn't be so bad. But the guy only knew one discipline, which majority of the fights end up on the ground.
Right.
If you really think about it, a lot of the fights will end up on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Like plenty of times in fights when I was like growing up in high school and stuff.
Of course.
They almost always go on the ground.
I mean, if you're well rounded and you understand the ground and you understand stand up, then you can defend.
Right.
But most of the time, if you just in a scuffle, it's not hard to take somebody down. It's not difficult, and it also depends on the space that you're in. The space matters too. How much room you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
If you're back against the wall and you have nowhere to go, you have nowhere to go. You might get taken down.
Right.
So that's why it's very important. I used to be very ignorant about the ground game. I never wanted to learn it at a younger age. I was only taught that I just need my karate, and that's all I need. I don't need to learn no ground. Very ignorant. And
yeah.
I actually learned the hard way. I learned the hard way, man. I got my ass kicked.
Yeah. Jeez.
I got put in my place. I got put in my place, man. I would literally put on my gi with my black belt, and I would go into a jiu-jitsu school and challenge the jiu-jitsu practitioner. Literally. Disrespect. But to me, because in my mind, I thought that all you need was just a good kick, good movement, and you're good.
Right.
So I put on the gi, and now this is my good gi now. One of my good gis, my belt. I felt pretty good about myself, cocky.
Right.
Go in there. I want to train. The guy's like, you want to train striking? Oh, no, I want to train ground. Just give me a student. I just want to roll around. I want to prove that your stuff don't work. Up against the brown belt. Bro, we started standing up. I ended up on my back. Then he mounted me. No, first, we were standing up. Then he grabbed a hold of my gi with an inside grip, a nice grip.
Right.
He pulled me around, tore my gi up, and my whole gi apart. Shot and got me to the ground, threw me on the mat. Then I didn't know what a guard was, so he mounted me easily. So he just mounted me.
Right.
Then he used the inside gi choke. He used my gi, put his hand exit, and grab one side, and to squeeze in right on my neck.
Right.
I didn't want to tap, but I was starting to, my brain was locking off. It's like I was losing my consciousness was going away.
Right.
So I had to tap. And I said, no, let's just go again. Let's just
yeah.
I said, I'm gonna better this time. Same thing happened again. So this was back in I think like 1999, 98.
Oh yeah.
So I end up joining the school. I end up going back there and joining and starting to train with them for a little while.
Right on.
Just to learn some techniques. I felt embarrassed, you know, because I went in there in my gi and everything, and
Right.
I mean, I still have the gi up to this day. You know? just to look at it and say, okay, I need to be humble. I don't know everything.
Right.
I think I know. I don't know, all the techniques in the world. There's other people that know more than you. So
Right.
you need to understand that. And that was my wake up call for me. And I started training the ground. I started learning how to defend a lot, how to stop a takedown also. I learned a bunch of submissions off my back, in my guard.
Right.
Even on top, I know submissions, I know the sweep, I know the get out of stuff. You know, it's very important. And I went to the purple belt, as I said, in American top team. I was going pro, but my mind wasn't in it to be a cage fighter.
Yeah.
It's like I had the techniques. I had everything there. Everything is good, but the mind wasn't good. So that was my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, unless that's really what you really want to do, for sure. Don't be a cage fighter.
I mean, in the beginning, I was hyped up. I was good. I started in 2008 is when I actually started. And you know, I'm at that time my heart wasn't it. I think my mind was there, but along the way it started to fade out. As soon as I started getting into the cage,
right,
and training in the cage, and I felt how the cage felt. Because being in the cage is not like being on a mat or a boxing ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's sometimes the flooring is different in the cage. Just dealing with the cage alone is the cage by itself is different.
Right.
So
yeah, I find even being in a gym that has a cage, like there's a different energy, you know.
Yeah. The energy is different.
Yeah.
The energy is definitely different, and I found myself being more aggressive than I usually am.
Right.
Like, I found myself cause I was more of a defensive kind of, you know, like I have these techniques, but I want to use it for defense only.
Right.
Like I wouldn't want to hurt my opponent, but I found myself being like losing it. Like I lost a couple guys in the gym, and I was like just going wild on them. And the guy was like, "Hey, stop!" And my mind was going. Like I just lost it. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I was like, "Oh!" And I stopped for a second. I'm like, "Hey, hold on, man! I was trying to really hurt this guy."
Yeah.
And you know, it just my heart. And the cage is a sport. The cage fighting is a sport. So you need cage experience. Without cage experience, you can be the best stand-up fighter in the world. If you don't have cage experience, your chances of winning a fight is going to be very little.
Right.
Because being in the cage is completely different. It's a whole different ballpark. So.
Right.
I'm not sure if you trained in a cage before.
No, but I've been in a gym where there's a cage. I haven't really trained in one. No, I could, you know, but I did like the time I was around a cage. Even just the feeling of being there, you know, with the cage in the room, it was a totally different energy.
Of course. That cage locks, and they put a little a piece of pipe in it so you can't get out, or a piece of steel rod in it.
Right.
So you feel like you're locked in this cage.
Yeah, you're in a cage, right? You're literally
from over the cage.
Right.
So, you know, my heart was like it's like that different feeling. It's a different feeling than if I was maybe on the mat or on a regular floor.
Right.
You know, it's a whole different feeling. And you know, I went through the experience of it. It was good, and it helped me to clear up some things in my mind that I was dealing with. If this is the road that I really wanted to take, if I really wanted to be a cage fighter, because I was a martial artist to start with from 5 years old.
Yeah.
So,
that's when you started with your dad, hey?
Yeah. It started with my dad when I was like 4 or 5 years old. You know, started with the Goju-Ryu, and then I went to the Shorin-Ryu. I got my 3rd degree in that, and I did Taekwondo, I did the Muay Thai, it's boxing, and you know, it's like a journey. The martial arts is a journey, and it's something that you will never get, even if you live until you're 100 or whatever. There's so much to learn.
Right.
So you never know everything, and I needed to realize that I was trying to I was trying to showcase my martial arts to the world. Like I could show, and I thought that being in the cage was a way to show.
Right. It is one way to show it, but it's a painful way.
It's a painful way, but what I wasn't understanding is that the martial arts that I know and a lot of the techniques I know, most of the time it will not work the way I want to work in a cage, because the cage is just a different environment.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And than the environment, because I was taught more of a self-defense kind of only fight if they have to, and mostly to counter strike.
Right.
You know, kind of like a Machido.
Yeah.
You know, like a Machido Machido. So it's very similar to that, which he uses a lot in the cage. He uses the counter very, very well.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So,
yeah, the cage.
One of my favorite fighters, actually.
What's that?
Actually, he's one of my favorite fighters, actually, in the UFC.
Right, Lyoto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amiyama Shida.
Right.
So, but yeah, that is where I learned a lot from that, and but along that I was still training the jiu-jitsu there.
Right.
I went up purple belt, and I could still go back and train if I wanted to, but right now I'm more looking to develop my own thing now, to concentrate on myself and all the learning, all the teachings that I got.
Right.
I want to put it all together and then create me. You know, so I'm not saying I know everything, but
no. But are you training alone, or do you have training partners?
Well, my brother and I usually train. I have an ex-student that I also work out with. And if you watch some of my videos, you might see sometime I have my brother there sparring. And then some other videos I have a couple other people training. But more recently now, it just has been me alone really training.
Right.
So, and then sometimes my brother might come in every once in a while. So, I haven't been really doing the jiu-jitsu as much as I should be, but but the concepts are still there. So
right.
So yep.
Yeah. So so for me, that's what the martial arts had changed so much.
Oh yeah.
All of this stuff like jiu-jitsu, you never even heard of that when I was growing up, right?
I heard of wrestling and judo.
Yeah, there was wrestling, there was judo.
Judo, yeah.
And even
which is a form of jiu-jitsu, similar.
Right. And
it's mostly throws and sweeps.
Right.
So.
Yeah, in fact, judo was one of the first kind of Eastern martial arts to come into North America, eh?
Actually, yeah, because I think Gene LaBelle was actually
right.
He was teaching Bruce Lee how to do judo.
Right.
That's what a lot of people didn't know about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was going towards the ground game.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I definitely know one guy who's in denial about that.
I think I know who you're talking about. Because it's good to watch all Bruce Lee movies, and you can look at his movies and say, okay, he was doing this, that. But those are movies.
Right.
In Bruce Lee's real life, he knew that a lot of fights end up on the ground.
Right.
He to understand the ground game, so he was training with Gene LaBelle, and that's why his book. The book that he had, I think all his books were demonstrating how to do chokes and submissions and takedowns. That's common sense to show you that.
That's right.
He was going towards the ground.
That's right.
Because he's a realist. He's a realistic person.
That's right. Yeah.
He's a live in some fantasy land. You know, he knows what real fighting is.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah, and I just can't even imagine what martial arts might have been like if he hadn't passed away. Like, who knows? It would have been, I think, a totally different scene.
Well, actually, it would be like how it is now. actually.
It could be, but like I mean, then we're talking like he would have probably brought us to where we are now by like by the 80s, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
so where we are now, like
If
here
I
in
see the
2015,
end of the dragon scene even tells you he ended the fight with a submission.
right? Right.
In the beginning, I think that was Sumo Hong he was sparring against. I don't know if you know who Sumo Hong is.
Yeah. At Enter the Dragon, yeah.
And then he submitted him with a submission. He didn't beat him with a spinning back kick or anything like that. He beat him with a submission.
That's right.
So that does tell you, and that was his later movies. That wasn't his early movie. That was a movie that up towards his death.
Right.
And the Game of Death.
Right.
Mostly submissions in that one too. He was beating his opponents by grappling them.
Yeah, well, it all depended on the context. Like if he was just fighting one guy, then it made sense.
Right.
You know. But if he had multiple opponents, he didn't want to go on ground fighting. Yeah.
Well, that is what I agree on too. In a multiple fighting, you don't want to be on your back. A matter of fact, you don't want to start a fight on your back.
Right.
If you're standing up, avoid going on the ground.
Right.
I would agree on that. But if you get taken down on the ground, that is when the jiu-jitsu come in handy.
Yeah, you better know what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You cannot be ignorant. I'm telling you, never be ignorant about learning new things that can be helpful to you. So, I mean...
Right.
And the only way to understand this, I mean, I'm sad to say, is to get your ass whooped.
Yeah, well...
Like, literally get your ass whooped.
It is. Like, one of the things that I went through, because I was avoiding it as well, like... sometime in high school, I think, or sometime when you're a teenager, because jiu-jitsu is actually like it's natural. You're born with jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Like me and my brother, I know we used to practice jiu-jitsu just naturally with each other when we were very young. Hey, like prepubescent kids, right? You're wrestling around on the ground and
like they can play around.
Yeah, see who can pin who and this kind of thing, right? And getting the mount and holding their arms down and, torturing them and shit. But sometime after, when you're a teenage kid, at least in North American, I don't know how it works in other countries, but like you're suddenly discouraged from that kind of play. It's like
I guess when you get a little older, I guess people say, "Oh, what are you doing to roll around with a guy?" People are this,
right?
Didn't like they're not understanding that you're learning some techniques to use if you have to use it, and I spend majority of my time standing up and kicking. I spend over 28 years punching and kicking.
Right.
So I mean, I knew nothing about the ground game.
Yeah.
I knew nothing. I was completely nothing at all. I mean, if I hit the ground, I wouldn't know what to do. I would have probably tried to kick my foot up in the air.
Yeah.
And, punch on my back. But that don't help. That's to do that, you're going to get submitted if you do that.
Right.
And your limbs open.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But as I say, this is something where I had a problem with it too because I was fascinated about the movies growing up. All the Van Damme movies, all the Steven Seagal movies, all the Bruce Lee movies, and even though Bruce was going towards to do the judo and do the grappling, I was more into like the kicking and looking good, doing the kicks and the ground fighting. That's no such thing. There's no wrestling. You just stand up and that's it. And
right.
You would never go on the ground. And
right.
I can tell you where I'm going to go. I'm going to go here and there, and that's it. But in a real fight, you don't have no say in a real fight. You don't have no say.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you can prepare all you want. You can be running as much as you want and do a bunch of jump ropes and a bunch of push-ups and you can hit as hard as you want. You can't prepare for a street fight.
No.
So.
No,
I don't know the reason why people tend to think that the ground game is gay and all these things. I just don't know the reason why.
Well, that's
Maybe
what
because
that's
the experience they have. Because I've been through a lot of things. So I've been a lot of fights. I've been to a lot of street fights. I've been in I've been in competition fights too. So
right.
I mean, I understand. So maybe that's the difference. It's just experience.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's getting real about things too, because the reality is that a lot of fights do end up on the ground. But
Yep.
I know, like, even for myself, we didn't have jujitsu, but we had wrestling in high
Right.
school. I didn't want to participate in wrestling because I thought, that's like that's rolling around with rolling around with a guy and you're wearing tights and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I felt the same way too.
Yeah. But then, something I came to grips with something like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, or where I just started like really thinking about, okay, if you're if you're a human being and you want to develop all your human potential and you want to be able to be functional in all these different ranges, you can't ignore training for ground grappling, right?
Exactly. The ground is part of the game.
That's right.
Just like you stand up and walk in, you can fall down on the ground also.
Yeah.
You can trip and fall down, you end up on the ground.
Right. Right. So then I had the myself. I didn't have to go get my ass kicked or anything, but I knew it was something that I had a hole in my game, right? I knew there was a big hole because I had only ever been trained in striking, and so then I started approaching it, but I approached it in a roundabout way. I bought grappling dummies to start with, and then
so hold on. All this happened in a year?
This is like the last year and a half. I wasn't doing any jiu-jitsu before maybe sometime 20 maybe end of 2013.
Oh, so this is new. Okay.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. I'm totally new in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So yeah, I bought some grappling dummies, and then I started inviting like female relatives, like sister-in-laws.
Yeah, I know. I see a video. There's sometimes you have like women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a transitional step.
Right,
Like I had to get comfortable with that before I was willing to. I had to prove to my.
So it's more the fact of you rolling with a guy.
I had to prove to myself, I think, that there was nothing, there was no sexual thing about it, right? Yeah. Yeah. But now I got, now I got a small group going.
Yeah, I noticed. You got a couple guys coming in and training. That's good, man. You at least you mix it up, You have the ground and you do your striking, do your weightlifting, you do your jogging. So,
right. That's
the way to train, man. That's the way.
Yeah.
Can't just stick to one thing and believe that all you need to do is spin your nunchucks.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, no, like my artistic vision of what I'm trying to develop for myself is I'm just trying to see to what extent I can meet my capacities as a human being, right? So I want to be able to move like a human being, and I want to be able to like eat like a real human being. Like most people, if they don't have a grocery store, they don't know what to do, right? So I want to know how to get all the foods that are in my area just naturally.
Right. Exactly.
I want to be able to run, because being a human, you should be able to run, you should be able to swim, you should be able to defend yourself, you should be able to be a predator. When it's time to be a predator, you be a predator. When it's time to, evade, then you become evasive. And I wanted to be able to do all these things, even getting into like parkour a little bit.
Right.
Be a well-rounded, like just try to, as much as I can.
Of course.
Yeah.
I said the worst thing to do is to put limitation in yourself. To limit yourself.
Right.
That's the worst thing you can ever do.
Right.
The journey is there. pick up as much as you can pick up and learn as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then whatever you think doesn't work for you, then you don't really you don't really discard it, but you have it there in the back.
Yeah.
And if you ever need it, you use it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm having fun, even just documenting that journey, because you know, I know I'm not especially talented. There's guys out there with mega talent for all this kind of stuff. I'm not one of them.
But I mean, the fact that I notice you is because I see that you have the heart, you have the passion and the love for the martial arts, and I see that, you know, you not only are you training, but you care about your health, the dieting now, like you're going toward to detox,
right?
Which is a very important thing, you know, because that is going to fuel your body.
Yeah.
You know? So you can go that longevity, get that, you know, get that real training. So
yeah,
you know, just the fact of that, you know, you train. How much times a week do you train? How much times a day or weeks you put your training in?
I think I do something every day. Yeah.
It's just a fact. I mean, you might not be, you know, the best kicker, the best, but the martial arts is not all about that. It's not about who can kick the fastest or who can do the most splits.
Right.
It's just the dedication, the honor, the respect.
Right.
You know, the discipline. The discipline is most. A lot of people don't have no discipline, and that's the problem about the martial arts. There's a problem, and people think they have discipline. They think they do, but they really don't.
Right.
They don't have no discipline at all. None.
Right.
I see discipline in you. You know, you don't bash anybody, you don't put anybody down, you just do your workout, and you have your people come over and you train. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's, you know, it's, I mean, you're not trying to fight for a competition, you're not trying to be, you know, a movie star.
No.
you just being honest with yourself, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Honesty will see honesty, man.
Right. Yeah, so that's, you know, that's my approach, and that's what I'm doing on YouTube. I find that the documenting of my training, it both helps me identify problems, but also, you know, there's something about the for me, it's almost like a kind of an exhibitionism almost. Like I get some kind of motivation from videotaping myself and putting stuff on YouTube.
Of course,
it like keeps me going, you know.
You know, even when people they comment on it, you know, it gives you that motivation to do better, to keep on. You know, it gives you that fuel, like, oh man, this person liked my stuff. I'm doing something good.
That's right.
I want to go the extra mile now. You know, I want to better myself.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that there's some people watching too, so
of course,
you want to do better. You want to keep developing and stuff. You know. There's
a lot more people watching the videos than you actually think. You just that they just don't comment on it.
Right.
But I mean, I actually noticed you from when you put that video up about Freddie Lee.
Oh yeah.
And I guess you had that podcast with Sour Mongo or something like that. Is his name?
Yeah, that's his online name.
Yeah.
So,
you were talking about, you know, how you were training with, you know, with Freddie Lee for a long time, and I mean, for a couple, I guess a year or so, 2 years or so.
It was going on 3 years, I think, that I was doing stuff with Freddie.
And then you were running his channel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big mess. Like I saw like when I first saw Freddie on YouTube.